Alright guys, the objective of this video is to solve the MCQs from the IMA exam support package. The IMA exam support package presents in front of us certain MCQs that are essential for us to solve before we go for our US CMA examinations. We are in unit number 1 of part 2 of US CMA and we are understanding our MCQs related to EPS, stock split, book value per share and those related concepts. Let us pay attention. Screen is clearly visible or should we zoom it a little bit more? Okay. So here we are. Let's pay attention. We are looking at question number 51. A corporation had 250,000 equity shares, that is common stock, outstanding on 1st of January. The financial manager of the corporation on 30th of September is projecting a net income of 7,50,000 for the current year. If the management of the corporation is planning on declaring a $55,000 preferred stock dividend and a 2:1 stock split on 31st of December, the earning per share on 31st of December are expected to be what? My dear friends, please appreciate that earning per share is equal to earnings. What is the formula? Please repeat. Earnings available for equity shareholders divided by weighted average number of equity shares. Are we clear about this? Yes or no? Now, the earnings available for equity shareholders need to be calculated. I told you prior to this particular lecture or this particular video that net income is what? Net profit after tax is also written as net income. So that is one thing you have to be very, very careful about. So I have with me net profit after tax. How much is that? It is 750,000. From this, we will subtract the amount of preference dividend. What is the amount of preference dividend? The amount of preference dividend is 55,000. How much? 55,000. This brings my earnings available for equity shareholders at 6,95,000. Sir, first part is done. I am interested now in the second part. My dear friends, what is the meaning of stock split? See, at the present moment, I have how many shares? I have 250,000 shares. I want to increase the number of shares by splitting them. So suppose today if I own 5 shares, I will now own, say the stock split is 2:1, I will now own how many shares? I will own 10 shares. This will lead into a dilution of my earnings. It will lead to what? Dilution of my earnings. These are the various tactics that are used by the promoters of the company to ensure that their control over the number of shares stays ironclad as far as they are concerned for their group. Stock split, bonus, that is stock dividend. So you can write over here as a note that stock split and bonus, which we refer to as what? What do we refer to as bonus in US CMA? Stock dividend. What do we call bonus in US CMA? Stock dividend. My dear friends, stock split and stock dividend. What was the good thing about bonus that you learned? That pre-bonus, whatever is there, you have to adjust it. I hope you remember the lecture, the first lecture of EPS. What is the meaning of that? You have to go backwards and adjust all the previous items. This is known as retrospective impact. What is this known as? This is known as retrospective impact. What is this called? Retrospective impact. So my dear friends, you will have an MCQ that is asked to you in your USCMA examinations theory, that the adjustment of stock split, the adjustment of stock dividend is dash. Number 1, prospective. Number 2, retrospective. Number 3, both. Number 4, can't say. The answer is it is retrospective, meaning पीछे के सारे balances आपको adjust करने. Now you know that weighted average number of equity shares have to be calculated on a time-based period. My dear friends, the stock split, like the bonus, has to be adjusted till the first date. Meaning, now you are splitting stocks in the 2:1 ratio. Meaning, you held 1 and after split, you held 1 and after split you get 2. So over here you hold 250,000. So after split this will become how much? 5 lakhs. Will become how much? 5 lakhs. So my dear friends, this 5 lakhs will be from the very starting. It is not on a particular day. It is from the first day. So this 5 lakhs multiplied by 12 upon 12 will be your weighted average number of equity shares. Do I make myself clear? So if you want, you can write a special note for this. You can say that prior to split, number of shares is equal to 250,000. Agreed? Yes. Ratio of split 2 is to 1. Number of shares after split. How much? 5 lakhs. How much? 5 lakhs. Now the time weighted ratio. You have to take this as if it was there for you from the starting. So it will be 12 is to 12 and it will be how much? 5 lakhs. Therefore, over here when I say divided by weighted average number of equity shares, I will write over here how much? 5 lakhs. And I will get over here EPS, which is equal to 1.39 per share. I'll get how much? 1.39. Do we have that option? Yes. The option is 1.39, option number A. Do I make myself clear about this? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Agreed? Does everybody agree? Does everybody understand this question? Yes. Let's go to the next question. Let's go to the next question. Question number 52. First, pay attention in the lecture. I'll give you ample time to copy it down later on. Question number 52. Interesting question. They are asking us, a company's financial data for the recent fiscal year is as follows. Common stock मतलब equity share. Common stock मतलब क्या? Equity share. Preferred stock मतलब preference share. Net income. This is nothing but net profit after tax. कॉमन स्टॉक डिविडेंड मतलब इक्विटी डिविडेंड मतलब कौन सा? इक्विटी डिविडेंड. और प्रेफर्ड स्टॉक डिविडेंड मतलब प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड. द कंपनी विल हैव रिपोर्टेड बेसिक एंड डाइल्यूटेड अर्निंग्स पर शेयर ऑफ. होल्ड ऑन. बेसिक तो मैं समझ गया, बट डाइल्यूटेड अर्निंग्स करने के लिए देर इज नो इंफॉर्मेशन ऑन प्रेफरेंस शेयर कन्वर्जन. देखिए, प्रेफरेंस शेयर के पोटेंशियल अर्निंग्स और प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स को कन्वर्ट करके जो इक्विटी बनेगा उसके बेसिस पे आपका डाइल्यूटेड अर्निंग्स आएगा. So this question 52 does not specify the potential number of equity shares that the preference shares will be converted into. Point number 1. Therefore, potential shares cannot be calculated. Cannot be calculated. चलिए, प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड दिया है, तो इवन इन द एब्सेंस ऑफ रेट ऑफ प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड यू कैन स्टिल कैलकुलेट द पोटेंशियल अर्निंग. सो इवन इफ percentage of preference dividend is not given, comma, amount of preference dividend is given, so potential earning can be calculated. So what? So potential earning can be calculated. This is important point. This is important point. But sir, potential earnings calculation अकेला करके मैं क्या करूंगा? I cannot calculate the number of shares. Therefore, diluted earnings per share calculate करने के लिए there is no scope only. There is no scope only. Obviously, in such a scenario where you cannot calculate DPS, where you cannot calculate your DPS, comma, your basic EPS is equal to your DPS. Sir, with this logic, there is only one option that has got equal, and that is option number D. But sir, this is risky. I would like to see and satisfy myself that my answer is correct. So at least basic EPS तो मैं calculate करके ही रहूंगा. Please be my guest. Net profit after tax. What is your answer? It is 50 lakhs. Minus preference dividend. How much is it? It is 20 lakhs. It is 20 lakhs. Earnings available for equity shareholders are how much?
Sir, वो 5 crore. 30 lakhs.
It is 5 crores?
Yeah.
Oh yes, it is 5 crores. My mistake. So how much will this be? 4 crores and 80 lakhs. How much will this be? This will be 4 crores and 80 lakhs. This will be divided by number of equity shares. How many are there? 50 lakhs. How many are there? 50 lakhs. Please divide this. This has to be 9.6. This has to be 9.6. Basic EPS is going to be how much? 9.6. And by the logical explanation that I gave you, in this scenario, your basic EPS is going to be equal to your diluted EPS. Therefore, your answer is going to be 9.6 throughout. Agreed or disagreed, students?
Agreed.
I hope you have understood. I hope you have understood. Next question, rather interesting and a good question. They are asking us something known as book value per share. What is the meaning of book value per share? My dear friends, book value per share is equal to total equity, is equal to total equity divided by the number of equity shares. So let us quickly take a cursory understanding of what I'm trying to say by this particular in this particular section. Now see, please understand. In any company, equity, in any company, what is the word I'm using? In any company, equity will comprise of the following elements or the following items. The first one is going to be your equity share capital. The second one is going to be your reserves and surplus. What is it going to be? Your reserves and surplus. The third one will be an addition to your reserves and surplus, which will take into consideration, net profit of current year. What will it take into consideration? Net profit of current year. Net profit of current year will be extremely important in your calculations. Now, please understand. The equity share capital and reserves and surplus will have an opening balance. What do I mean by opening balance? See, suppose this is 2001 and this is 2002, right? You have equity share capital, let us say 2 lakhs, and you have reserves and surplus, let us say 8 lakhs. So when I say opening equity, your opening equity is how much? 10 lakhs. To this I will add, profit of current year. To this I will add what? Profit of current year. This becomes my equity. Please try to understand this particular concept. Now having said this, let's come back to our question. And let's see what they are trying to ask us. We are on question number, if I'm not mistaken, 53. We are on question number 53. At the end of its fiscal year on December 2000, Merit Watches had a total shareholders equity of 24,209,306. So 2 crore 42 lakhs 9,306 was on the end of was at 31st of December 2000. Out of this, 35 lakh 54,405 was your preference share capital. What was that? Preference share capital. During the fiscal year 2001. Merit's net income after tax was 28 lakh 61,003. During 2001, they paid a preference share dividend of 2 lakh 23,551 and an equity share dividend of 4 lakh 12,917. On 31st of December 2001, Merit had 1 crore 21 lakh 95,799 equity shares outstanding, and the company did not sell any shares during the year. What was Merit's book value per share? What is the meaning of book value per share? Book value per share is the value of the share we calculate using either asset valuation, B, certain formulae, or our certain assumptions. So what are we saying over here? Over here we are saying that to begin the story, I am saying that the opening balance of equity as far as this company is concerned is 2 crore 42 lakh 9,000 306. Any doubts about this? Any problems? You are able to point it out. My dear friends, to this I will add, net profit after tax of the current year. For me, remember, my current year is 2001 and my previous year is 2000. So the profit of the current year that I am saying is 28,61,003. How much is it? 28,61,003. Right? What I have over here is the balance of profit, is the balance of equity, balance of profit, balance of equity and profits before appropriation. Please take a total of this and give me the answer. Is it 2 crore 70 lakh 7,000? Oh, no, no, no. 2 crore 70 lakh 70,000. 2 crore. How much is it? 2 crore 70 lakh 70,309. What is this? This is the balance of equity and profits before appropriation. My dear friends, from this I will make appropriations. What are appropriations? Appropriations are nothing but payment of dividend. What are the appropriations that I can see in this particular question? Let us circle them. Preference share dividend and I can see an equity dividend. These are the two appropriations that I can see. So what will I write over here? I will write preference dividend. Can you give me the amount of preference dividend, please? It is 2,23,550. Can you give me the amount of equity dividend, please? It is 4,12,917. Right? What am I left with? If I subtract these two items from 2 crore, I am left with the closing balance of equity, which is how much? 2 crore 64 lakh 33,841. What is this? This is the closing balance of equity. What is this? This is the closing balance of equity. Now, my dear friends, when I say equity, this is equity share capital plus reserves and surplus plus profits of current year which go and sit in reserves and surplus plus it is preference share capital. I want the value of one equity share. So I will remove preference share capital from this because reserves are ultimately the property of whom? Of the equity shareholder. So what I'll do is from this I will subtract preference. And I've been given the value of preference. 35,54,405 is the value of preference. So please subtract 35,54,405. What am I left with?
2 crore 28 lakh 79,436.
79,436. What is this? This is the value of equity as on 31st of December 2001. To this, I will divide this by the number of equity shares. What is the number of equity shares that I have? I have 1 crore 21 lakh 95,000, 1 crore 21 lakh 95,799 equity shares. What am I left with? 1.876, which can be rounded off to 1.88. Do I have that answer? 1.88. I have the answer. What is the answer? 1.88. Understood the calculation? Yes or no? Yes. Now let's go to question number 54. Let's go to question number 54. I request you to do one thing. Take a screenshot of sorts for this particular question, because what happens is I will rub out some part of this question to explain 54 because I want each question's explanation against it. So this is question number 53. Just take a photograph of the screen at the present moment so that you can then project it in the group later on, right? So 53, even if I rub a certain part of this, now it should not be such a problem for you. Do I make myself clear? Yes. So I'm going to now question number 54, which is an important question. Now what are they saying in question number 54? Let us please pay attention. Question number 54 says, hold on. Question number 54 says, Donovan Corporation recently declared and issued a 50% stock dividend. What is the meaning of stock dividend? A bonus issue. They did a bonus issue. Sir, for bonus issue, now there is only one straight journal entry. What is the journal entry? Reserve and surplus account debit to equity share capital account. Right? Now they have not given us the amount. But my dear friends, over here, can I say that there is no impact on current assets and current liabilities? Agreed? Sir, why did you say that? So current ratio पे कोई impact नहीं पड़ता. Book value per common share. Now please understand. Book value per common share will get impacted. Why? Now they are asking you, this transaction will reduce what? See, book value per share is equal to value of equity divided by number of shares. So my dear friends, if number of shares is to increase automatically, so if I was to say that number of shares increase, then automatically book value per share is going to decrease, right? Over here, this results in what? This results in number of shares increasing. Therefore, book value per share will automatically go down. Agreed or disagreed? So what is your answer? Your answer is option B. Sir, debt to equity ratio. Now focus on this very, very clearly. Sir, reserves getting debited means equity has reduced. Agreed or disagreed? Reserves are a part of equity, and if reserves are debited means equity is reduced. Agreed or disagreed? Agreed. Sir, equity is credited over here means equity has increased. Means what happened? Equity has increased. Because of this, can I say that net equity position? Can I say that net equity position here is unchanged? Would I be correct when I make this statement? Yes or no? Please tell me that. Why would I be correct when I make this statement? Because reserves have reduced and equity has increased. So the reduction is equal to the increase. In this scenario, आपका 2 रुपया कम हो गया, 2 रुपया बढ़ गया. मतलब क्या हुआ? ओरिजिनल पोजीशन चेंज नहीं हुआ है. My dear friends, debt to equity ratio. Debt to equity ratio takes into consideration either debt upon equity or debt upon debt plus equity. In this ratio, neither equity nor debt are impacted. See, you will say that equity is impacted. Yes, equity is reducing, equity is going up. But net position is unchanged because what is reducing, that much only is increasing. Therefore, debt equity ratio is also not impacted. Here it is clearly not impacted. Here it is clearly not impacted. Do I make myself very, very clear over here? Next, they are talking about return on operating assets. What are return on operating assets? Return on operating assets is equal to net profit after tax upon operating assets. Upon what? Operating assets. Giving this particular dividend is not impacting anything. There is no impact over here. There is no impact. Therefore, return on operating is also not impacted. Do I make myself clear? It is not impacted. Do I make myself very, very clear? Yes or no? Therefore, what is impacted? Therefore, sir, only book value per common share, that is book value per equity share is impacted. Do I make myself clear? 100%. Yes or no? Please tell me that. Yes or no? Please tell me that. Clear? This is question number 54. Let's go to question number 55 now. 55 again is a good question. I just want to reduce the thickness. It's too thick, I think, for the screen. Just a second. Let's go to question number 55. The following information is concerning Arnold Company's common stock, which was included in the company's financial reports over the last 2 years. So, very good question. And you already have learned this as a concept when you did EPS. Look at the question and let's identify it together. Let's identify it together. Please focus. The following information is concerning Arnold Company's common stock, which was included in the company's financial reports for the last 2 years. For how many years? Last 2 years. The market price per share is given 60 and 50. My dear students, please notice, like auditors, is there an increase in the market price per share? Yes, there is a clear increase. 50-60 बन चुका है. 50-60 बन चुका है. Next, par value per share is face value. That will always remain unchanged. There is no doubt about it. Sir, EPS notice करो. 3 था और 3 था. Sir, you have given us these notes in the class. When EPS is constant and market price increases, obviously the PE ratio has increased. That happens when the market sees a potential for growth in the company. My dear students, look at this very, very carefully. Market price per share of year 2, market price per share of year 1. Of year 2 it was 60, of year 1 it was 50. Your EPS is 3 at both the places. May I please request you to calculate the PE ratio? What is PE ratio? MPS divided by EPS. Year 1 it is 20, year 2 it is 16.67. Agreed? My dear students, there is a clear increase in PE ratio. Agreed or disagreed? Increase in PE ratio when EPS of the company remains the same, but the MPS of the shares increases such that the PE ratio increases. This happens only when the market sees a future growth potential in the company. My dear friends, when EPS remains constant and MPS increases, obviously na PE ratio has increased. Yes or no? Please tell me that. Obviously na PE ratio has increased. Why has PE ratio increased? What is the meaning of this? Means market sees growth potential in your company. Dividend per share is the same. Book value per share has increased. Based on price earning information. Based on what information? Price earning. Sir, price earning information was not given. Don't worry, we have calculated. We can see an increase in the price earnings. Yes or no? Based on price earning information, investors would most likely consider Arnold's common stock to be overvalued at the end of year 2. No, never. The market has given that much response. Whether they consider it to be overvalued or not, this is going to be an incomplete statement. Sir, why you say like this? Sir, please understand. Sir, an investor is there. Sir, an investor is there. Sir, book value per share is there. How much? 36. This means he is ready to pay 36. Sir, your PE ratio of the second year is how much?
20.
Sir, 20. Sir, as per investors' calculation, he will pay rupees 36 for share. चलो मान लिया, and market is charging rupees 60. Yes, the share is overvalued. The share is overvalued. But this is not driven alone by PE information. This is driven by BVPS information and by PE information. Please understand this. Do you agree or do you disagree? 36 के साथ कंपेयर किया आपने 60 को. 36 क्या है बॉस? BVPS है. आपको फैसला किस पे लेना है? सिर्फ और सिर्फ पीई के बेसिस पे लेना है. सर, एमसीक्यू तो आसान है. आसान तब है जब आप उनको ढंग से पढ़े. यहाँ पे ऐसा बोला है क्या? यहाँ पे ऐसा बोला है क्या कि पीई को छोड़ के और कोई चीज को यूज करो? बोला है? तो तुम 36 के साथ उसका कंपैरिजन जब करोगे तब तुम पी को छोड़ के दूसरी चीज को यूज कर रहे हो. सर, क्या बीवीपीएस बुक वैल्यू पर शेयर को यूज कर रहे हो तुम? तो तुम गलत हो कि नहीं हो? सर, अभी आप गलती कर रहे हो ना, तो पूरी करो ना. गलती कर रहे हो तो पूरी करो. सर, पहले साल में तो 34 था ना मेरा बुक वैल्यू. 34 था कि नहीं था? पहले साल का मेरा पी रेशियो 16.67 है. मल्टीप्लाई बाय ईपीएस, आंसर 50 आएगा. तो पहले साल के लिए भी तो ओवरवैल्यूड है कि नहीं? बेस्ड ऑन बीवीपीएस पहले साल के लिए भी ओवरवैल्यूड है कि नहीं? ये क्या आधा काम कर दिया? बी ओवरवैल्यूड एट द एंड ऑफ ईयर 2. अरे बट व्हाट अबाउट ईयर 1? व्हाट अबाउट ईयर 1? उसमें भी तो ओवरवैल्यूएशन है कि नहीं है? आ रहा है समझ में? इट इज लाइक दैट. मैंने आपको घर पे बुलाया, खाने पे सूप पिलाया, ठीक है, अच्छा लगा आपको. थोड़ी देर बाद ग्रेवी परोसी, रोटी परोसी, ठीक है, आपको दिया, अच्छा लगा आपको. एक ही रोटी दी, आपको बहुत अच्छा लगा. आपने बोला चलो कम खा लेता हूं. आपने बोला राइस. मैं खुद राइस खा रहा हूं. आपको नहीं. क्यों? आपको इतना. ये कोई बात होती है? ऐसे की जाती है मेहमान नवाजी? नहीं ना. ये कोई बात हुई क्या? ऐसे दिया जाता है क्या ऑप्शन? ईयर 2 ईयर 1 का क्या बात करनी है? खाना खिलाना है, पूरा खिलाओ। पूरा खिलाया क्या लोग ने? ऑप्शन 1 गलत है, दो रीजन की वजह से। पहला रीजन ये कि इट इज यूजिंग इंफॉर्मेशन अदर देन पीई, इट इज यूजिंग बीवीपीएस। दूसरा रीजन ये कि स्टेटमेंट ही आधी अधूरी है। स्टेटमेंट पूरी कब होती? जब ईयर 1 भी ओवर वैल्यूड है बोला जाता स्टेटमेंट, और ईयर 2 भी ओवर वैल्यूड है बोला जाता, तब मैं मान लेता इनकी बात को। लेकिन अरे आधा प्यार कर लिया, आई लव यू बोल के चले गए। अरे आई लव यू टू तो सुनो, नहीं सुना, नहीं सुना तो लव स्टोरी बनेगी कैसे? ये तो वो वाली ट्रेजेडी वाली पिक्चर बनेगी, ओमकारा वगैरह जैसी। अपने को तो डीडीएल चाहिए भाई, अपने को शाहरुख खान अच्छा लगता है। समझ में आ रहा है? तेरे नाम नहीं देखना है शाहरुख खान वाला, डीडीएल देखना है। कुछ कुछ होता है देखना है। आर यू अंडरस्टैंडिंग व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से? ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस, ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड दैट दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट, दिस पर्टिकुलर स्टेटमेंट इन इटसेल्फ, ये आधा अधूरा स्टेटमेंट है। ये स्टेटमेंट कभी भी सही हो नहीं सकता। दूसरा, इट इंडिकेट्स इंफीरियर इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजंस बाय मैनेजमेंट इन ईयर 2, एब्सोल्युटली नॉट। इट इंडिकेट्स सुपीरियर इन्वेस्टमेंट डिसीजंस। व्हाई? अरे तुम साला ईपीएस उतना ही दे रहे हो, लेकिन मार्केट क्या बोल रहा है? जो 50 रुपया देने को तैयार था आज तुमको 60 रुपया दे रहा है। मतलब तुमने कुछ तो अच्छा काम किया है, इंटेंजिबल एसेट्स में अच्छा इन्वेस्ट किया है, कोई तो टेक्नोलॉजी अच्छी खरीदी है, कोई तो अच्छे लोगों को आपने रिक्रूट किया हुआ है। आपको एक एग्जांपल देता हूं, एनआर नारायण मूर्ति रिटायर हो गए इन्फोसिस की बोर्ड पे से। उनकी जगह पर कृष्ण विठल कामत नाम के, केवी कामत नाम के एक बड़े मतलब बुलंद और बड़े माने हुए रिस्पेक्टेड व्यक्ति उनकी जगह पे इन्फोसिस के चेयर बने, एक ट्रांजिशन पीरियड को ओवरसी करने के लिए, जब तक कि नंदन नीलेकनी और सलील पारेख और ये सारे कंपनी की रेंज को टेक ओवर ना करते। देखे, कृष्णा विठल कामत के जाने की वजह से इन्फोसिस की शेयर प्राइस 2-5 पैसे ऊपर चली गई थी, क्योंकि वो दबदबा था कृष्णा विठल कामत का एज अ प्रोफेशनल, एज अ कॉर्पोरेट लीडर। उनके आने से प्रेजेंस अच्छी हुई, कंपनी का शेयर प्राइस बढ़ गया। भगवान ना करे पर अगर नटराजन चंद्रशेखरन ने टीसीएस छोड़, अपना टाटा सन्स छोड़ दी, और फॉर एग्जांपल उन्होंने कोई दूसरा ग्रुप ज्वाइन कर लिया, लेट अस अज्यूम रिलायंस इंडिया लिमिटेड ज्वाइन किया, ऐसा मतलब 7 जन्मों में नहीं हो सकता, लेकिन मान के चलिए कि हो गया, रिलायंस की शेयर प्राइस ऊपर जाएगी बिकॉज ऑफ नटराजन चंद्रशेखरन। व्हाई? बिकॉज रिलायंस हैव इन्वेस्टेड इन द राइट पर्सन, so the company has made the right superior investment, that is why the share price has increased। ये तो गलत है। It shows a positive trend in growth opportunities in year 2 compared to year 1, absolutely yes। Why? Because the moment the EPS is constant, the PE increases, the MPA increases, it shows that the market expects you to have positive growth opportunities। It shows a decline in growth, absolutely not, there is no decline in growth, as a matter of fact there is a increase in growth opportunities। I hope you're understanding. Go wash your face. Go. As a matter of fact, there is increase in growth opportunities। I hope you're able to understand this particular point। Yes or no? Please tell me that. Clear है? 100%. So what is your answer? Answer को इधर ये, this is your answer. Point number C is your answer. It shows a positive trend in growth opportunities in year 2 compared to year 1. Do I make myself clear? Yes or no? Question number 56 now. Question number 56 now. Let us see what they are saying. Let us see what they are saying. Clark Incorporated has prepared the following financial information for its IPO. Long-term debt, okay. Common equity, par value, that is face value. What is this? Face value. Sir, additional paid in capital, मतलब क्या? इंडिया में इसे सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम कहते हैं। व्हाट डू वी कॉल इन इंडिया? सिक्योरिटी प्रीमियम। रिटेन अर्निंग्स, सर रिटेन अर्निंग मतलब जनरल रिजर्व, कैपिटल रिजर्व, पीएनएल, फलाना ढिमका। तो सर इधर एग्जाम्पल के तौर पे लिख देते जनरल रिजर्व, कैपिटल रिजर्व, पीएनएल एक्सेट्रा। सो अभी क्या हुआ ना, ये हैंडराइटिंग थोड़ा बराबर अप डाउन हो गया है, तो इसको थोड़ा सा, दिस इज फेस वैल्यू। व्हाट इज दिस? This is security premium. What is this? Security premium. And what is this? This is general reserve, PNL, capital reserve, etc. Total assets 5 crores 50 lakhs. Net income is given to you. Annual dividend is given to you. If public companies in Clark's industry are trading at 12 times the earnings, 12 times earnings matlab PE is equal to 12. What is the estimated value per share of Clark? What is the estimated value per share of Clark? So chaliye friends, let us take into consideration net income. What is your net income? Sir, 37 lakh 50,000. Sir, minus I will cut dividend. Now I want you all to pay attention to my next few statements. Please, everybody watching live and watching online, I want you to see what is happening next, which is 22 lakh 50,000. This is divided by number of shares. What is the number of shares? See, 30 lakh ka face value hai. So obviously you have how many shares? You have 30 lakh shares. Please divide this by 30 lakhs. Sir, if I divide this by 30 lakhs, I will get an EPS of 0.75. I will multiply this by the PE multiple of 12 and I will get the market price per share of 9. Sir, this is bullshit. Sir, this is bullshit. This is a wrong answer. This is a wrong answer. What is this? Sir, this is bullshit. Sir, what is this? ये L है bull का जो bullshit हो जाएगा. So this is bullshit. This is the wrong answer. Sir, why? My dear friends, the dividend that you subtract from net income is always what a dividend? Sir, it is always preference dividend. Is always what dividend? Can you see any preference dividend over here? So what are you subtracting equity dividend for? What are you subtracting equity dividend for? Sir, the right answer is there is net income of 37 lakh 50,000. This will directly be divided by number of shares. So the number of shares are 30 lakhs. This will give me an EPS of 1.25. I will multiply this by a PE of 12 to arrive upon the MPS of 15. And this is correct answer. And this is correct answer. What about this? What is this, please?
Bullshit.
This is bullshit. Don't fall for bullshit. Go for the right answer. What is the right answer? 15. You can also alternatively call it horse shit also. I don't mind. Generally in the English spoken language, bullshit is a more used phrase. So I'm using bullshit. You can call it chicken shit also. I don't really care. But it is wrong, so it is shit. Kindly keep that much in mind. Am I making sense here? This was question number 56. Please do not make such mistakes in the exams. Why have I done this? I have highlighted the mistake. And I have kept the right answer in front of you. This is essential for you when you are going to be studying for your USCM. कि कैसे सोचना है तो कैसे नहीं सोचना है, इसके बगैर आपके आंसर आपके आने नहीं चाहिए. और हमेशा एक बात को याद रखें, ये भले MCQ एग्जाम क्यों ना होने दो, इसके सारे ऑप्शंस पेचीदा से हैं. इसके अंदर गलत ऑप्शन भी छुपा हुआ है और अगर आप इसमें गौर फरमाए, इसके गहराइयों में जाए तो इसके हर एक गलत अल्टरनेटिव के पीछे एक कोई ना कोई बुलशिट रीजनिंग होती है. बुलशिट रीजनिंग IMA खुद करके आपके सामने ऑप्शन रख देती है. बिकॉज स्टूडेंट होता है वो मिस्टेक्स करता है, उन मिस्टेक्स से निकले हुए आंसर वो बाकी के 3 आंसर है, पर सही तो आपके सामने उधर 15 लिखा हुआ है. काइंडली कीप दैट मच इन माइंड. लेट्स गो टू द नेक्स्ट वन. योर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन is question number 57. Interesting question. We are asking in this question book value per share. They are asking us that Morgan Stanley is an investment bank and it is working with the management of Kell Incorporated in order to take the company in a initial public offering. Chalo, Morgan Stanley Investment Bank is working with Kell. Kell wants to go public by making a public offering. Selected information for the year just ended for Kell is given as follows. They have a long-term debt, par value of 1 share, additional paid in capital, retained earnings. Almost same to same data. Total assets, net income, dividend. The public companies are trading in a market to book ratio of 1:5. This is fantastic. What is the meaning of market to book ratio? Market to book ratio means market price per share divided by book value per share. This is equal to 1.5. So what is the estimated value per share? Meaning we are asking us market price. So based on this much information, we are able to calculate the book value of this particular company. So let us see what is the answer. My dear friends, what is the value of my equity today? My equity is equal to 30 lakhs plus 2 crores 40 lakhs plus retained earnings of 60 lakhs. Agreed or disagreed? Agreed. What is the total? The total is 3 crores and 30 lakhs. This is the total balance of your equity. What are the number of equity shares? So number of shares are 30 lakhs. Sir, if number of shares are 30 lakhs, the book value per share is equal to how much? Sir, 11. Sir, therefore, MPS is equal to 1.5 multiplied by 11. What is the answer of 1.5 multiplied by 11? It is 16.5. What is the answer? The answer is 16.5. I hope everybody understands this particular MCQ. I hope there are no doubts with respect to it. Yes? Good. Let's come to the next one. Let's come to the next one. ओ सर ये तो हम लोग ने प्रैक्टिस करवाया था आपने हमको जब ये आपने कॉन्सेप्ट सिखाया था. Now let's pay attention to this. At the beginning of the year, Lewis Corporation had 1 lakh shares of common stock outstanding. Opening balance. Sir, first movement is happening on 1st of April where you have issued 10,000 shares in exchange for land. Sir, something is coming into the company. Yes. Zameen ka parcel aa raha hai. Ek zameen ka parcel aa raha hai. I'm getting a land parcel. And how many shares am I issuing for this? 10,000 shares. How many shares am I issuing for this? 10,000 shares. Dosto, can I say that 1 lakh multiplied by something. This 1 lakh, the first 1 lakh is with me for the period of January, February, March, multiplied by 3 divided by 12. Agreed or disagreed? Sir, April issued 10,000 shares in exchange for land. Sir, I had 1 lakh shares and now this 10,000 came. So can I say that I have 1 lakh 10,000 shares now? Till 1st of July. 1st of April का है. So April, May, June. Sir, can I over here also write 3 by 12? Sir, on 1st July they declared us 10% stock dividend. Sir, pre-bonus, adjust everybody by 1 plus rate of bonus. Adjust everybody by 1 plus rate of bonus. So it is 1 plus 1. So over here, can I say that this is nothing into 1 plus 1? Yes. Into 1 plus 1. Agreed? Yes. Yes. So what I'll do is now, so as to avoid the confusion, I will keep this as 1 plus 0.10. You read it as 1.1. Sir, now what happened? Now, I had 1 lakh shares. Then 10,000 I issued for the land parcel. So today I have 1 lakh 10,000 shares. On this, now I gave 11,000 shares ka bonus. So today I should have how many shares? Today I should have 1 lakh 21,000 shares with me from 1st July to 1st October, July, August, September. Sir, multiply this by nothing. Multiply this by nothing. There is no need to adjust over here because these are already bonus adjustment. In this, no more bonus adjustment. Agreed or disagreed? Yes or no? On 1st of October, what is happening? I am buying back, that is purchasing treasury stock. See, if it is given that company has a treasury stock, does not mean that company has purchased the treasury stock. Treasury stock का मतलब क्या? उतना shares buyback कर सकता है. You can buy back those many shares. Here they have actually told you that you have purchased the treasury stock. Means the buyback has happened, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
So if the buyback has happened, then 1,21,000 has to fall down to 1,16,000 on 1st of October. So October, November and December. What is happening? 3 months. Sir, adjust bonus. No more bonus adjustment because bonus adjustments are pre-declaration of bonus. So I request you, fine gentlemen and ladies, to please calculate. What is the first one? 1 lakh multiplied by 3 divided by 12 multiplied by 1.1. I am getting 27,500. Next, 1,10,000 multiplied by 3 divided by 12 multiplied by 1.1. I am getting 30,250. Next is 1,21,000 multiplied by 3 divided by 12. I am getting again 30,250. 1,16,000 multiplied by 3 divided by 12. I am getting 29,000. Agreed or disagreed? Yes. 29,000 plus 3,250 plus 3,250 plus 27,500. My answer is how much? What is my answer? Come on, guys. What is the answer? Calculators, come on. 1,17,000 is the right answer. What is the right answer? 1,17,000. What did they ask you? The number of shares which you would use when we are computing EPS. My dear friends, when we are computing EPS, what are the kind of shares that we use? Weighted average number of equity shares. And what we have essentially done over here right now is a calculation of what? Weighted average number of shares. I hope everybody is convinced with this particular one. Let's go to question number 59. Again, a good question, an interesting question. Let us check out 59. What does question number 59 say? 59 says selected financial data of ABC is presented below. For the year just ended, ABC has a net income of 53 lakhs. It has 55 lakhs dollars of 7% convertible bonds that were issued in the prior year at a face value of 1,000. Okay. Each bond is convertible into 50 shares of common stock. Okay. No bonds are converted during the current year. Okay. 50,000 shares of 10% cumulative preference stock par value of 100 are issued during the prior year. Preference dividend is not declared but were current at the end of the prior year. Matlab, they were not declared but were payable because they are cumulative, so it will become payable. So it is going to be payable as far as the company is concerned. At the beginning of the current year, 10,60,000 shares of common stock are outstanding. On June 1, the current year, on June 1 of the current year, 60,000 shares are issued and sold. Okay. At the beginning of the current year, so this is your opening balance. And on 1st June, 60,000 shares are issued and sold. What is the basic EPS for the current fiscal they are asking you? They are asking you what? Basic EPS. What are they asking you? Basic EPS. So my dear friends, first of all would be to calculate veins. I will always calculate veins. What is my opening balance? Sir, 10,60,000. What is the opening balance? Sir, 10,60,000. Sir, 10,60,000 stays with me for the following period. Please count, sir. Sir, it is starting in Jan, but then 1st June. So Jan, Sir, Feb, Sir, March, Sir, April, Sir, May. How many months? Sir, it is staying with me for 5 months. Sir, then is a new issue of how many shares? Sir, how many shares are new issued? Sir, 60,000. Sir, so what will this become? 10,60,000 plus 60, matlab 11,20,000 हो जाएगा. Correct? Just check on calci once. 11,20,000. Sir, June 1st. Sir, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. How many months? Sir, 7 months. Please calculate veins. Please calculate veins. 10,60,000 divided by 12 into 5 and 11,20,000 divided by 12 into 7. What is your answer of veins? Sir, my answer of veins is coming as 1,09,000. Sir, 10 lakh 95. Sir, 10 lakh 94,999.99999 I am getting. That is what I am getting if I do the exact this. So obviously it is how much? It is obviously 10 lakh 95,000 shares. How many shares? 10 lakh 95,000 shares is what? Is my weighted average number of equity shares. Any doubts about this? No doubts about this. Now what is the net income? Sir, net income means what? Net incomes means NPAT. Net incomes means what? NPAT. Sir, my NPAT is 53 lakhs. Sir, from NPAT, I will subtract preference dividend. Sir, preference dividend is how much? Sir, preference dividend I have not paid, but on 50,000 shares, a par value of 100, sir, means on 50 lakh rupees or dollars, I have to pay a dividend of 10%, which is how much? 5 lakhs. Which is how much? 5 lakhs. So minus preference dividend is how much? 5 lakhs. Sir, here I will get EAESH, which is how much? 48 lakhs. Sir, I will divide this by what? By veins. How much is my veins? Sir, 10 lakh 95,000. Sir, what will I get after this? Sir, I will get basic EPS. I will get basic EPS, which is how much? Sir, 4.38. What is my basic EPS? Sir, 4.38. We have that answer. That is your answer. Good question, no doubt about it. Good question, interesting question. You should get the full marks in the exams. So whatever you did in EPS today, whatever you learned in EPS today, I would like to believe it is correspondingly being solved also fast ekdam quickly. So this is good for you the way I see it. Question number 60. Question number 60. Devlin Incorporative has 2,50,000 shares of rupees 10 $10 par value stock outstanding. For the current year, Devlin paid a cash dividend of 3.5 per share and had an earning per share of 4.8. The market price is 34. PE ratio. Sir, PE ratio very simple. Market price per share upon earning per share. Sir, it is given over here very clearly that it has an earning per share of 4.8. Sir, why don't you do one thing? Sir, why don't you do one thing? This is price earning ratio. Sir, why don't we calculate? Sir, why don't we calculate dividend yield also? Why don't we calculate something known as dividend yield? So dividend yield is equal to dividend per share upon market price per share. We can calculate. If you can calculate P, you can calculate dividend yield also. You should be able to do it. Right? What is EPS this much? And what is your MPS? MPS is how much? 34. So just divide these two. What you will get? Sir, 7.083 I am getting. So the answer is C, 7.08. And what is the dividend per share? Sir, the dividend per share is how much? 3.5. What is the market price per share? Sir, market price per share is 34. So this is roughly around 9%. Roughly around 0.09 something you will get. Right? 3.5 divided by 34. What is the answer? More than 10. Sorry. I made a mistake. 0.10294. 0.10294. But it's okay. It is not asked. But when you're doing your studies, you should be able to take up extra questions like this. Okay? But we'll do that when we are doing our other MCQs. Don't worry. Right now, let's just go through our exam support package for what it is. Apple Seed Company. This is a good question. This is a good question. Apple Seed Company reported a net income of 5,88,000. The company has 10,000 shares of $100 par value, 6% preferred stock, and 1,20,000 shares of 10% of $10 par value common stock. See, please read this again. I have not read this properly. The company has 10,000 shares of 100 par value, 6% preference share capital. This is the first capital. The second capital is 1,20,000 shares of $10 equity share capital and 5,000 shares of common stock in treasury. Please understand, this is in your treasury. This treasury stock has not yet been purchased. Please understand, this common stock is sitting in your treasury. Please understand. The common stock is in the treasury, it is not yet bought back. It is not yet exercised oblique bought back. You want me to change the color? Better if dark. Just a second. Hold on. We'll write it in black. The common stock is in treasury. It has not yet been bought back. Therefore, not subtracted. Therefore, now there are no dividend payments. Market price per common share is 40. Apple Seeds PE ratio we want to know. Okay, sir. Sir, net profit after tax. Net income means what? Sir, net profit after tax is how much? Sir, 5,88,000. Sir, from this, please subtract my preference dividend. Sir, my preference dividend is 10,000 shares at the rate of 100 per share. Correct? So that is how much? Sir, that is 10 lakhs. On that, sir, 6%. So if I am not mistaken, it will come to how much? It will come to 60,000. It will come to how much? 60,000. Yeah. Sorry? 1,20,000 shares of par value. ये equity shares है. ये इधर मैंने क्लैरिफाई किया ना, ये पर्पसली वो स्टेटमेंट, इसी कंपनी हैज 10,000 शेयर्स ऑफ $100 पार वैल्यू 6% प्रेफरेंस स्टॉक, बीच में ये कंजंक्शन है एंड 1,20,000 शेयर्स, तो ये तो 10,000 शेयर है आपके 100 रुपीज फेस वैल्यू के, ये इसका प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड का परसेंटेज है। ये क्या है, ये नंबर ऑफ शेयर है, ये इसका फेस वैल्यू है और ये उसका प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड परसेंटेज है। डू आई मेक माई सेल्फ क्लियर, यस और नो? सो ये कितना बन जाएगा सर, ये 5,28,000 बन जाएगा। फ्रेंड्स ये क्या है, EAESH, जस्ट रिक्वेस्ट करो डोर बंद कर दो ना, दिस इज EAESH। EAESH को किससे डिवाइड करेंगे सर, नंबर ऑफ शेयर से। सर इधर मैं इसको सीधा 1,20,000 से डिवाइड करूंगा। डू नॉट मेक द ब्लंडर, व्हाट इज रॉन्ग, प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड व्हाट विल बी रॉन्ग ओवर हियर। 1,20,000 को आप उसके अंदर से 40,000 को 5,000 को काट देंगे ना, वो गलत होगा। सर क्यों गलत होगा सर, क्योंकि ये 5,000 शेयर से ट्रेजरी में बैठे हैं, उसके मूवमेंट के बारे में कुछ बोला नहीं गया है। प्लीज डोंट डिडक्ट, प्लीज डोंट डिडक्ट, कीप दिस 120 ओनली। अगर बोलते तो बात अलग होती। सर ईपीएस आया, सर ईपीएस आया 4.4, सर एमपीएस मेरा 40 है, सर ईपीएस मेरा 4.4 है, सर तो मेरा पीई मल्टीपल 9.09 है, मेरा पीई मल्टीपल 9.09 है। गुड क्वेश्चन, नो डाउट अबाउट इट, गुड क्वेश्चन। ऑप्शन नंबर क्या है? I think I ticked it. Yes, I ticked it 9.09. Let's come to question number 62. Question number 62 क्या बोलता है? Question number 62 says that Archer Incorporated has 50,000 shares of $10 par value common stock outstanding. कितने शेयर है इनके पास? 5 lakh shares है. I made a mistake in reading. 5 lakh shares of $10 par value common stock outstanding. AC चालू है ना? Okay. Common stock outstanding. For the current year, Archer paid a cash dividend of 4 per share and had an earnings per share of 3.2. Okay. Dividend कितना दिया है उन्होंने बोला है, अर्निंग पर शेयर कितना है उन्होंने बोला है। The market price of Archer stock is 36 per share. The average PE ratio for Archer's industry is 14. When compared to the industry average, what is Archer's stock? Now please pay attention. Earning per share is 3.2. PE ratio of the industry, PE ratio of the industry is how much? Is 14. So estimated market price of Archer company will be how much? 44.8. Now actual market price is how much? Actual market price is 36 per share. Actual market price is how much? 36 per share. Sir, can I say that my share is undervalued? Use your brains. Sir, आपके हिसाब से कितनी होनी चाहिए थी वैल्यू? As per your calculation, what is the reality? मतलब कम है कि ज्यादा है? Sir, कम है. It is undervalued. Sir, it is undervalued by how much? Sir, 8.8. Sir, it is undervalued by how much? Sir, 8.8. Agreed or disagreed? It is undervalued by how much? Sir, 8.8. अरे यार ये बहुत ठीक आ रहा है यार. हाँ, it is 8.8. What is this? Undervaluation. Now they are asking you undervaluation percentage. Okay. So percentage undervaluation is equal to, what is the undervaluation? Sir, 8.8. Sir, 8.8 on what? On the actual market price always. 24.44% undervalued. So it is undervalued. So overvalued galat, 10 galat. Sir, this is the right answer. The answer is option number D. The answer is option number D. This is an excellent one. Very important because you have to visualize the scenario in the exam when you are already going to be under some stress. A steady drop in the firm's PE ratio can indicate that EPS has increased, EPS has decreased, market price has steadily risen, both EPS and market price are rising. Let's pay attention. EPS and market price की बात हो रही है and there is a drop in the PE ratio. So let us see. EPS आपका 10 था, MPS आपका 100 था, तो आपका PE रेशियो कितना होगा फ्रेंड्स? 10 टाइम्स हो जाएगा. कितना टाइम्स हो जाएगा? 10 टाइम्स. बट अभी इन्होंने क्या बोला, ड्रॉप बोला, इन्होंने क्या बोला, ड्रॉप बोला, तो पीई रेशो क्या होना चाहिए, कम होना चाहिए। सर पी रेशो कम कैसे होगा, सर ईपीएस को बढ़ा दो, एमपीएस को कांस्टेंट रखो, आपका पी रेशो घट गया, आपका क्या हो गया, पी रेशो घट गया। समझ में आ रहा है? पी रेशो के घटने से आपको क्या पता चलता है, पी रेशो के घटने से हमें पता चलता है कि इसेंशियली जो मार्केट के अपने से एक्सपेक्टेशंस है वो हम मीट नहीं कर पा रहे, तो अपना शेयर का प्राइस क्या हो जाएगा, कम हो जाएगा, या फिर ज्यादा ईपीएस देने के बावजूद भी एमपीएस उतना ही रहेगा। समझो, पी रेशो गिरा तो ईपीएस कांस्टेंट है तो एमपीएस गिरेगा, पी रेशो गिरा ईपीएस बढ़ा तो एमपीएस कांस्टेंट रहेगा। ये भी एक बढ़िया एमसीक्यू अपने आप पे बन गया, सुपर है, इसको देखो। व्हाट विल हैपन व्हेन पीई रेशो फॉल्स, ईपीएस विल राइज but MPS will stay constant. What is PE ratio? MPS upon EPS. Second, EPS will uh, EPS will fall. Correct? If EPS falls, no, 1 second. 1 second.
EPS constant, MPS.
1 second. 1 second. We had taken how much? EPS was 10, MPS was 100, and this. Then we took 15, 100, and 6.67. Okay, let's make the analogy. If the EPS increases and the MPS is constant, what will happen to the PE ratio? The PE ratio will fall. Now my next statement is the MPS falls. The MPS falls and the EPS rises. And the EPS rises. Now suppose 10, 100 and 10. What is this? This is EPS, this is MPS, and this is PE ratio. Now I am saying EPS rises, let us take it 15, and MPS falls, let us take it 80. So 80 divided by 15, what is your answer?
5.33.
Sir, 5.33. In this scenario also what happens? The PE ratio falls. So what will happen here? The PE ratio will fall. When you copy down this is important. You copy down this is important. Why? So this is the concept behind the question. This is the concept behind the question. Now focus on the question. What are they saying? A drop in EPS could indicate that. What is this indicating to me? Sir, it is indicating to me the following. EPS has been increasing while MPS of the stock has held steady. Yes, sir. Look at this. Rising EPS and steady MPS. So the first one is the answer. So second one, EPS has been steadily decreasing. If the EPS decreases and MPS stays constant, now please understand, if EPS decreases and MPS is constant, I am saying that P ratio will increase. See 10, 100, 10. Now this, let us say it becomes 5. This is 100. This will become 20. So this is wrong. Market price of the share has been steadily rising. No. Both EPS, see if the market price has been steadily rising, chalega. If the market price has been rising, chalega. Lekin EPS has to increase more than the increase in market price. Only then will the PE ratio be less. Only then will the PE ratio be less. Please understand that. Both earnings and MPS, of the share are what? Are increasing. No, they are not increasing. Earnings is increasing. MPS cannot be increasing. This is wrong. EPS has to increase, whereas MPS has to stay constant for PE to. This is also wrong. What was this? This was question number 63. A very important question where I am highlighting the answer. So, very important question. Please ensure that while copying, all of these particular aspects are done. And if watching online, please make sure that you have paused the video to copy down these various analogies that I have given you, right? What I recommend is just do one thing, take a quick photograph of this one, because this one you take a photograph, because I want to rub it so that ये वाला question मैं यहाँ पे कर पाऊँगा. Just take a quick photograph. Let me know when taken. Done? Okay. So I'll erase this. Let's come to question 64. Collins Company reported a net income of $350,000 for the year. The company had 10,000 shares of $100 par value, non-cumulative 6% preferred stock. The way they are writing becomes confusing. So what are they trying to say? 10,000 share, comma, face value 100 per share, correct? Non-cumulative 6% preference dividend. मतलब क्या बोल रहे हैं ये बोल रहे हैं 10 लाख का प्रेफरेंस शेयर कैपिटल है. कितने का? 10 लाख का प्रेफरेंस शेयर कैपिटल है, 6% उसका इंटरेस्ट रेट है. 1 लाख शेयर ऑफ $10 पार वैल्यू, कॉमन स्टॉक आउटस्टैंडिंग. हाउ मच? $10 पार वैल्यू, कॉमन स्टॉक आउटस्टैंडिंग. 1 लाख शेयर, दैट इज इक्विटी. There are also 5,000 shares of common stock in treasury during the year. Have you purchased them? No information given. Colin declared and paid all the preference dividend as well as $1 per share dividend on common stock. मतलब equity dividend भी दे चुका. Collins EPS for common stock. Please understand, do not make the blunder. Do not make the blunder of saying that you have issued that common stock wala. See, they have made that mistake purposely. So see what is first the wrong calculations. First see the wrong answer. मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ ना कि डोंट मेक दैट मिस्टेक, डोंट मेक दैट मिस्टेक, क्यों बोल रहा हूँ? देखो, बिकॉज इफ यू मेक दैट मिस्टेक यू विल फील यू मेड द राइट आंसर. सी व्हाट इज द नेट इनकम? जस्ट अ सेकंड. व्हाट इज द नेट इनकम? द नेट इनकम इज 3,50,000. Net income is 3,50,000. From this I will subtract my preference dividend. My preference dividend is 6% multiplied by 10 lakhs. Therefore, preference dividend is equal to how much? 60,000. Any doubts about this? Yes or no? Please tell me. What is preference dividend? 60,000. तो चलो इसमें से 60,000 को हटा दो. कितना कितना रहेगा सर? 2,90,000. ठीक है. Now divide this by number of shares. Divide this by number of shares. What will people say ना कि ये बायबैक हो गया है. ट्रेजरी स्टॉक मतलब बायबैक हो गया है. And they will divide this by 1,05,000. This is wrong. This is wrong. This assumes that treasury stock has been purchased, while it has not, keep quiet, not yet been. Please don't distract. What does it say? This assumption of taking 1,05,000, this assumption of taking 1,05,000 is wrong. Why it is wrong? क्योंकि आप ये assume कर रहे हो कि you have got how many shares? 1 lakh shares. What are you assuming over here? You are assuming over here that you have how many shares? You have 1 lakh shares and you are buying back the treasury stock. See here, these are your 1 lakh shares and you are buying back the treasury stock. That is why you are writing 1,05,000 here. This is wrong. This is wrong. Where does it say that the shares have been bought back? Where does it say that the shares have been bought back? Does it say anywhere? No. How are you assuming that? You can't. It is wrong. You cannot make such an assumption. So if you divide this 290 by 1,05,000, what is the answer you get? 2.9. You get the answer 2.76 if I'm not mistaken, right? 2,90,000 divided by 1,05,000. You get the answer 2.76. This is wrong. See here, 2.76. This is a wrong answer. They have given that answer because students will think that way. What is the ideally correct answer? Now pay attention to the correct answer. I hope you are able to see this on the screen. Yes, sir. Pay attention to the correct answer. What is the correct answer? Sir, सबसे पहला net income. Sir, 3,50,000. Sir, subtract preference dividend. How much? 60,000. Sir, 60,000. I am left with EAESH of how much? Sir, 2,90,000. Sir, divide this by number of shares. Weighted average number of equity shares. Sir, weighted average number of equity shares clearly I can see is 1 lakh. That's it. I'm not interested in anything else because that treasury stock is a jhasa. I'm not going to fall for it. So this is going to be how much? 2.9. Just this number has not been written properly. We'll write this. So what is the EPS? This is your basic EPS or BEPS. What is the answer? Option number C. Right? We are done with question number 64. Now let's come to question number 65. Question number 65, again an interesting question, and on the you have already solved this question actually. You have already solved this question when you did the first question. पहले question में मैंने लिखाया था कि stock split and stock dividend ये क्या होता है? Retrospective होता है. क्या होता है? Retrospective होता है. So first of all, write down this important point here, that stock split and stock dividend must be given a retrospective treatment. Do you understand this concept? Yes. Sir, there are 5,30,000 common shares outstanding at year end. At December 31 for basic earning per share, computed its weighted average shares at 5 lakhs. Okay. What are my veins? 5 lakhs. So prior to issuing the annual financial statements, but after the year end, Race split its stocks 2-for-1. ईयर एंड के बाद फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स के पहले चलेगा, फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स अप्रूव होने से पहले. ईयर एंड के बाद फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स अप्रूव होने से पहले के चेंजेस फाइनेंशियल स्टेटमेंट्स में आते हैं. All changes made to financial statements after year end before they have been approved by the board of directors are included in the financial statements. Please understand this. So what is the stock split? 2-for-1. So this will get how much? But friends, they are given a retrospective treatment. So 10 lakhs from what? From day one. Raise weighted average number of shares to be used for computing annual basic EPS will be 10 lakhs. Now your veins will be converted to how much? Will be converted to 10 lakhs. It is as good as saying you have to go back and adjust as you did in the case of stock dividend. So in the case of this also, stock split also, what will you do? You will go back and adjust. Do I make myself clear? Yes or no? Please tell me that. 100% agreed or disagreed? Come on guys. Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Let's take a look at this question. What are they saying? Esther Pharmaceuticals had a balance of 10,000 shares of common stock outstanding. On June 1, the company issued additional 2,000 shares of common stock for cash. A total of 5,000 shares of 6% $100 per non-convertible preference stock was outstanding all the year long. Net income was 1,20,000. Earning per share will be how much? Sir, earning per share तो अपनी जगह पे ठीक है. पहले हमें वेन्स कैलकुलेट करने पड़ेंगे. क्या कैलकुलेट करने पड़ेंगे? वेन्स. सर ओपनिंग बैलेंस कितना है? सर 10,000 है. सर कितना ओपनिंग बैलेंस? 10,000. and it is standing from Jan to Feb. Come on, March, April and May. Not June, because on 1st June there is a movement. On 1st June there is a movement of how many? 2,000. मतलब 10,000 becomes how much? 1st June. Now a total of 5,000 convertible preferences outstanding. They have given that to confuse you and make you take it in the Vains calculation. Sir, Vains का full form क्या है? Weighted average number of equity shares. सुना ही नहीं दिया. Weighted average number of
Equity shares.
उसमें प्रेफरेंस आएगा क्या?
नहीं.
वो प्रेफरेंस दिया है काय के लिए? तुम्हारे लिए डिविडेंड कटवाने के लिए. That's about it. That's about it. Please understand. And they have said that it is non-convertible. मतलब वो इक्विटी में बदलने वाला नहीं है. सो जून. सो ये जून रहेगा. सर जुलाई रहेगा. अगस्त, सितंबर, अक्टूबर, नवंबर एंड दिसंबर. तो चलिए महीने गिनते हैं. 1 2 3 4 5. सर पहला वाला 5/12, दूसरा वाला 7/12. ये आएगा 7,000. ये कितना आएगा बोलो? 10,000 into 5 divided by 12. The answer is how much? 4167. So what is your weighted average number of equity shares? Sir, हमारे weighted average number of equity shares is equal to 11,167. सर अभी हमें तो बस देरी है EAESH की. चलिए सर, what is the net income? 1,20,000. Net income मतलब net profit after tax. सर net profit after tax is 1,20,000. सर इसमें से क्या कटेगा? सर प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड कटेगा. सर प्रेफरेंस डिविडेंड कितना है? सो प्लीज अंडरस्टैंड. सर वी हैव 5,000 $100 शेयर्स. मतलब ये कितना हो गया? 5 लाख मल्टीप्लाइड बाय 6%. 5 लाख का 30% कितना? 6% कितना? 30,000. So what is this? This is EAESH. How much? 90,000. What is it? 90,000. So 90,000 के EAESH को 11.6 11,167 से मार दो. 8.06 is your answer. What is your answer? 8.06. What is this?